because Khushbu ma'am will clear all the doubts.
I'll
It's
try to
going
solve most of your question doubts.
It's
You are not a tailor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, hello. You are watching Nelson's interview. Today, our guest is Khushbu ma'am, who is working as a school teacher, specialized in mathematics, and additionally, she have a YouTube channel. She is conducting a training session for the competitive exams, and the main thing is whoever study in that training session, everyone is getting a good score, and she is getting a good feedback. That's why I'm sitting with her now. Moreover, she is running a tuition center for the CBSE students, and you have a lot of questions when coming to the mathematical subject. You have a lot of questions, and today I think so it is going to be clear for you, because Khushbu ma'am will clear all the doubts.
I'll try to solve most of your question doubts.
It's going to
Fine.
be very intellectual interview, I think so.
Fine, it will be.
Ma'am, we study mathematics,
Yes.
and even school students, they are studying maths, right? A lot of theorems, everything they are studying. And why do they study, and where they use that? It is useful in the everyday life?
Sir, actually, I believe that mathematics is everywhere.
Everywhere.
I believe mathematics is like language. It's like what we speak Tamil, we speak Hindi, we speak Malayalam. In the same way, mathematics and science, maths and science, they have their language. It's very important to let the student learn that language in a very perfect way. See, when a child is born, we are very much calculative that after 9 months a baby will be born, and after 8 months the baby will start walking. The baby is having this many tooth, and exactly we start teaching them like say amma, say appa, like recognition the baby starts having after certain months. Okay, so like that way, if we are also going to teach in school that see this is this chapter, and this chapter is having this application. This application means in future when I teach a subject now, I teach a topic at that particular moment. I always say that this part is going to come in railway examination. This part is exactly going to come in this examination.
So that will be very useful for the competitive.
Yeah, that section of mathematics is going to be used in this examination. So you focus, if your area of interest is that examination, you prepare this question nicely. So it is exactly people conception about mathematics that the child feels that it is very burden in mathematics, and they feel like okay, we should just switch off to some other subject rather than mathematics. And mathematics is used every day. Your question was exactly that where is mathematics used? See, since morning when we are waking up, we are calculative in our work. 7 o'clock this work, 8 o'clock that work, 9 o'clock we are going to be here, 10 o'clock we are going to do this work. So this 9, 10, 11, 12, this is exactly calculation. We never think that mathematics is there also. First we have to exactly think that mathematics is not inside book. Mathematics is exactly outside. It's just a language. We speak in language. We go to a shop and say that you give me 1 kg of potato. That 1 kg of potato is what? And then you are giving some money, and then they are returning money. You do a mind calculation and you say that just give me return with this money. If they will give wrong money, then you will be exactly asking for that money. So exactly what is that? That is also mathematics. We are very good in that. But when we open a book, at that particular moment, we start having that fear. And that fear is nothing but it is inborn fear. It is exactly a pseudo fear. It is not a true fear. The moment we will learn, we will explore mathematics, our concept about or our thinking about mathematics will change. It's the perception we have to change, I believe.
Where did you complete the schooling and college, and what is your qualification?
Exactly, I did my schooling till 10th. I was in Kids Garden School, and then 11th and 12th I've done in Delhi Public School, Dhanbad. And then my graduation and post-graduation I have done in college SSLNT. I have done my graduation, and post-graduation I have done in PK Roy, and B.Ed I have done from SSLNT college only. So this is my MSc, BSc, B.Ed, whatever certificate qualification is there, I've done from their government college only. Because I just want to say something to you, that when I was in 6th and 7th class, I was failing in mathematics. If you feel like I'm a very good mathematician, I was inborn mathematician, then I'll tell you that I was a below average student. You will be very surprised to know that I was failing in maths. But my teacher never gave up. My teacher, Mr. Mishra sir, he was feeling like this girl, he called me one day and he said that, why you fear maths? I said that I don't know why I fear maths, I don't know. Then he told me that okay, when you fear maths, you start solving it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. And then he called me in his home for giving training. The first day, me and my friend Amrita, we both went there. She is my very good friend, and we both went there. I saw that students are just not learning mathematics, they are exploring mathematics. They play with mathematical questions. And really, I really liked the way he was exactly teaching in home and school. And then slowly and steadily, I just got acquainted with the way he is teaching. Exactly one question he was giving, and he was telling all the children just to fight with that question. And who will solve first? Who will solve first? And the person who will be submitting the paper, that person was getting first rank. So for getting that first rank, what we were doing is, we were trying to solve the question. Then he used to say that, he was very, very strong in his words, like, hey, your friend is only going to do good in life. Why can't you do this? You can also do it. So a type of appreciation, a type of care, if we provide to a child, that child will feel that, yes, I can also compete in this world. And that slowly and steadily started coming inside me. Obviously, my friends were there to support me. We were like working as a team, working as a group in learning. And we were like 9th, 10th, slowly and steadily I started graduating, I started learning mathematics. But the real turnover comes in my graduation time. When I went in college, I learned one thing, that nobody will support you. You have to support your mathematics. And really I wanted to know that how much there is depth inside mathematics. Then I started learning it. I was reading night, I was reading morning. I just joined institutions where I was teaching also. So learning and teaching both came when it mined together. Then I came to know that okay, these factors are missing in my world. Like when you are a teacher and when you are a student, then you learn mathematics in a different parameter. Because when you are a student, you know that these things are there and teacher is not explaining. And when you are a teacher, you go by your own way. So when you are a student and a teacher, both together, then you can understand the feeling of a student in a better way. And then I understood that, okay, I should have to change my way of teaching. And then I slowly started changing myself, and I started teaching in a very different way. And then my first batch children, they were not from that so much big institutions and this thing, and they did a very good, decent score. Then I understood that, okay, real mathematics, real science is not anywhere. It is not in the book, not in the very, very big and hard lines. It is there outside. You have to tell the student that these questions are easy. First, you have to let them understand the concept. If they are not understanding, don't see in book 3 or 4 questions are there. We give only 3 and 4 questions as homework again and again. Stop this. Give 2-3 questions of your own and tell them to practice it. And when they will go outside book, then they will try this question on their own. They will definitely search, they will Google it. They'll definitely search here and there. But when they will not get it, then they have only one option, and that to explore.
You said you were weak in the maths.
Yes.
And then later on you
imbibe the technique for solving maths, yes.
And then now you are working as a teacher.
And I am also working as a YouTuber. Yes.
Super. And inside the class there will be different kind of students.
Yes, inside the class
there will be a slow learner inside the class.
Yes, right? Absolutely.
And you know the mentality of the slow learners.
Yes.
Right? And how I am approaching,
yes.
And what are the techniques you are using for the slow learners?
See, basically when I am going inside a class, first judgment area is how the child is sitting. Because when I have done my B.Ed, at that time, child psychology was one of a subject. So there I have learned one thing, that I am not a teacher, I am a facilitator. Facilitator duty is to provide all the facility for a person who is needing something. Teacher work and facilitator work are slightly different. Our curriculum says that you have to become a facilitator. Rather than going for a rigid and very strong roles, make yourself flexible. First, you should know the child priorities. What is the child priority? So when I'm going inside a class, I'm seeing the set of how the child is exactly, how the children are setting, and then how they're approaching to a question. So I should see their face. I should see their face, that how they are exactly interacting with me. Specifically, weak student, they find hard to interact with a maths teacher. So they will definitely be trying to they are not giving eye contacts. Second important thing is their notebooks will not be ready ever, and they will just try to run away from tests and all things. They will never be interactive. Yes. The interaction, the communication will always be lagging. So that time when communication is lagging, I just try to keep on communicating them more. The best way, what I learned from my teacher, I'm just using that one. What I'm doing is, first when I'm going inside the class, that I'm not at all telling that you open your book, maths book. Close the maths book. We don't need maths book. Okay. Then just whatever one circle chapter, just take for one example, just circle chapter is there. Then I'm going to just approach circle chapter. I'll tell them that you first close your notebooks and books. We don't need anything right now. We are just ready to play with that. Then I'll start asking the questions that you have seen any round figures? Where the things you have seen the round figures? Then I just ask the questions that bangle is round, this thing round, that thing round. How can you find the area of it? How can you find the circumference of it? Then definitely they'll ask the question, what is area? What is circumference? Then one simple thing that I just used to open my bangle and say that, you see, if this is a bangle and if I'm going to take the entire region inside it, that's area. But if I'm going to go round around the circle, then it is circumference. And circumference is nothing but perimeter. And then slowly, steadily, I'm just going towards the theorem. And once they will understand the concept, now, so first I just give them full concept, one concept with one example, one concept with one example. And then last I'm telling them that you start exercise, because really they will be exactly so much feed on inside their brain about the concept. Now they will gain some confidence and they will start doing it. But I'll just tell you one thing, that still out of 40 children, you will be finding 30 children hardly coping up, but 10 children will be still lagging. Yes. Because when you are standing in class 9th class and then you will be feeling that the student lagged the class 8th and 7th concept, yes, then that time it is really difficult for a teacher. And for that only I really want to advise the parents that, okay, fine, just simple concepts, play with your child for simple concepts.
Okay, ma'am, they are lacking in the basics.
Yes, basics are very important.
Yes, and what are the remedies has to be taken for?
So remedies is just basic formulas are there, na? Yes. So certain formula like a plus b whole square formula is there. And when suddenly one question came in between, the child has to use a plus b whole square formula. Then the child will be stopping there only. They don't know how to initiate after this. Okay, so the concept here is that once the child will be exactly stuck there, then you tell them, okay, there are 4 formulas. Give 4 different formulas. Don't tell them that this is the direct formula. So in board, I am writing 4 different formulas, like a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, a square minus b square. Identity formula I am going to give them. And I'll say that, okay, these 3 are the formulas. Can you think which one of is exactly going to be used here? Then definitely their brain, whatever struck section will be there, they will be exactly trying to understand that, okay, this is matching with this one. So it's nothing but lost and found column like content creating. In this way, the brain creates a link. And once the brain will started creating links, then the strange things will become familiar. And this is the only thing in mathematics that is lagging everywhere.
Ma'am, from my schooling, I have a doubt. We are studying a lot of sin theta, cos theta, everything.
Yes, that's everyone is learning like that only.
Where do we use? Whether it is useful in the life?
Sir, it is 100% useful in life. See, look here. When we go for specification, like if a person is going for scientific contents, one person is becoming civil engineer, one person is becoming mechanical engineer. Yes. So they are using formulas. We cannot go and stand and just design something. We need that formulas. So what our curriculum is providing is, we are exactly creating a basic platform of trigonometric concept, geometry concept, then what you call surface and area concept. These are called as general platform. Till 12th, this general platform will be there. So that the child will be standing in all the platform and gaining the knowledge.
Generally, the perception is mathematics is very tough. And the students have fear on the mathematics, right? And you too had a fear when you did the schooling. And you cracked it. And how the other students can crack that fear and they can come up in the mathematics?
Sir, I cracked my fear when I was in class 6th and 7th. 7th was the last time when I had the fear in subject. But the thing here is that fear can be overcome in any age. First thing, age is not the criteria, that 6th or 7th only. I want everyone to learn that fear can be overcome anytime. Whenever you feel like now you can do mathematics, that fear will overcome. Second important thing is, I was very lucky that my mentors, the person who taught me mathematics, he was a very cooperative person. He taught me like a father, like a guardian, like a friend. He was there and he was supporting us. We had a team of children where, I'm not going to tell that a class of children, I'm going to tell that a team of children, a group was there where we are fighting with mathematics. The way a wrestler is fighting and doing training, we were doing training like session, like when you go in a what you called learning judo and karate, that time what you are doing, you are enhancing your skills, yes or no? But here one perception is there that maths skill can be improved only in class and just in 2 periods. That perception, that ice we have to break. Whenever a teacher is going inside the class, first thing is that whatever question you are giving, tell the child to play with that question with different concepts. And most important thing is, if a child is trying to do something extra in a question, like he is using his or her own concept, don't stop that child. You tell that, okay, you have done like this, now you just go to 2 steps more and you will get the answer. And if a child is stuck somewhere, don't tell that you just follow my steps only. First thing is that you just follow my steps, and if you will follow some other steps, then you will be wrong. And then in class itself, once I am just teaching one concept of a particular content, I teach some shortcuts also. I teach my CBSE content also, and I teach some shortcut method also, so that their skill will improve, so that in competition also they'll excel nicely, and they will be exactly doing very best in competition, and they will be able to overcome competition in future. So like when a child is in a very tender age, like 6, 7, 8, 9, that time if you will try to teach them in a different way, their learning capacity will be very good.
Ma'am, this is for teachers.
This is for teachers, you want to ask question,
yes.
100%.
No, this is for teachers, you said.
Yes.
And what are the tips for the
student side?
Yes,
student side, yes. Yeah. See, listen, the thing important, Nelson sir, you know one thing, students are just like clay, what I believe. You know, once you will shape the clay, they will come out like that only. So when you will provide love, care like a mentor to a child, that time they will understand that someone is there. If I will fail in maths, that person will not shout. So here we have to mold a child in our own way. So not only teacher can be doing, see, our work is 50%, housework is 50%. If a child is getting 0 every time I'm telling, if you are getting 0, go and show it to your father that it's just a number. And I'm going to increase this from 0 to 5 first time. And every time I'm telling the parent also, whenever parent-teacher meeting is coming, I'm just discussing them that, see, your child got 5, or your child got, out of 20 your child got 5, out of 20 your child got 10. Don't scold that where that 10 is missing. Appreciate that you got 10, now you have a potential to get 12 also. So see, this is called as a relaxation therapy. A therapy to the child, where you are motivating the child that, see, the glass is this much empty, no, see, the glass is how much full. And I think each and every parent has to change their perception related to maths. They always scold the child that, hey, you go to this tuition, you go to that tuition, you go this place, you go that way, this institution, and then you will become good in mathematics. They feel that their responsibility is somewhere stagnant and they cannot do that. But I really want the parent to sit with the child and first ask what you want to be in future. If your area of interest is related to mathematics, then what else we can provide you? Now in your school, your teachers are doing good, then they will definitely appreciate, or they will say these sections is missing. Then directly talk to the teacher, directly talk to the person that, ma'am, sir, this section my child is missing. Both teacher and parent has to understand that this is exactly a dual method. It's not one process. And teacher should not feel bad, parents should not feel bad, because they are molding the clay for future. And the child also have to understand that the child has to cooperate, both of them.
Okay. Ma'am, cooperate, you said the word cooperate, right? Inside the classroom, there will be a cooperative and non-cooperative students.
100%. 100%.
I think like mathematics teacher should be very patient, right?
100%. We have to be patient.
How much patient you are to the students?
See, the most important thing is कि when you solve a question in class. Okay, like when I solve a question in class, some children, they are understanding. They say, ma'am, understood. Okay, I understood that this percentage of child understood. Now I also know that, because when you are cooking, you know that what type of food you will cook, and it will be exactly liked by the family member. Same way when you are in a profession where you know that when you will go inside a class, how many children are good learners and how many are exactly needing your support, then definitely when you give a concept, you know that this percentage will 100% understand, and you also know that this percentage is exactly having problem. So for that, keep on asking, do you have doubt? Do you have doubt? Any doubt, keep on asking. And when they, because they feel, first times when I went in a class, I saw that everybody said yes, we understood. But the moment I raised another question, half of them didn't answer. Then I understood one thing, that they want to create a pseudo image in front of teacher that we have understood.
Yes.
Okay, that is the strategy they are generating, acting like they have understood everything. But exactly, in fact, they have not understood anything. So for that person, you have to close the book and same concept related one more question you give. And then you check. Because in book, you will be getting answer in the back page. But when you will give your own questions, so you prepare some extra questions for that type of children. Don't scold them. In your game, never scold a child, because the moment you will look that child with a very big eye, the child will think that, okay, fine, I will not ask the question next time. And that person will have started having fear. You give a big smile and say that, okay, you have not understood, I am explaining this one. Explain 3 to 4 times, same thing. In different concept, in different parameters, you keep on explaining. The moment child is still not understanding, stop that concept and give a live example. Like, I have just seen one child not understanding root 3 plus root 3 is 2 root 3. That person has again and again problem. I told that child, you take 1 chocolate dairy milk, 1 chocolate dairy milk. Add that 2 chocolate, how many chocolates are there?
2 chocolates.
2 chocolates.
Yes.
Then I said, you remove dairy milk and put root 3. That person understood.
Yes, very good.
Understood. So you have to exactly, the moment a child is not understanding any concept, you have to come out from that topic immediately.
Yes.
Because it is training their brain.
Yes. Numbers,
The numbers are exactly like when they are not understanding what is root 3, when they are not understanding what is theta, immediately stop them and just give some live example. Like I have just given one simple example to you now. 2 dairy milks I have given you. Yes. And that is, you are saying 2 dairy milks. And then remove dairy milk, you put root 2. You understood now, 2 root 2 is there. In the same way, the child will also understand, okay, I have to keep some variables there. And whenever 2 variables will be added, it will be exactly written like that. Plus, minus sign. Simple, basic logics if we will use now. They will learn mathematics in a very better way.
What you said is a great tips for the teachers, because
immediately you switch off to a live concept. Don't go for mathematical concept immediately. You say that when a child is not understanding A plus B is how much, then you say A is 2, a number A is there and A is 2. A number B is there and B is 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Then immediately shuffle the number and say B plus A is how much. Then 3 plus 2 is 5. Then they will understand that when two numbers are added, either you keep them like this or you change the order, the number will always be same. So small tips, small things are there when you introduce in the class, and you have to always smile. First thing is that how much problem you are having in your day-to-day life, how much you have strain. Don't show that strain to your students.
Ma'am, recently I met a school student, and
Yes.
he said that my maths teacher is rushing up for the to complete the portion. Okay, and I asked him whether full book has been completed. Yes, completed. First term fully has been completed. But
And they
I
don't know
asked
the
a
concept.
question, what are the topics you learned? He couldn't answer. And he said, teacher has completed, but I don't know anything.
Sir, I will tell you one small thing. I'm not telling from anyone's side, but you tell me one thing. You are not a tailor, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you scissor, I'll give you whatever dress and everything, and I'll tell you stitch for me. Will you be able to do that?
No, not a
No, no.
Yes.
So how you are expecting a child to do that tailoring work? Are you understanding?
Yes, I understand.
So to let them write the examination, they should know tailoring, na?
Yes.
Yes, na? Then only they'll stitch for someone. So here the problem is not that the child is, I told you, na, the child is just like a clay. And right now, this is our fault. I'm accepting that, yes, we are rushing towards syllabus. But when we are rushing towards syllabus, we should not forget one thing, that is the child point of view we should not forget. We should remember, and we should teach them in such a way so that when they will be exactly not understanding some concept, or when they will be in trouble, they should come to us and say, rather than saying to others that hey, I am blank in that section, they should come to the teacher and say that ma'am, you finished everything, I don't know anything in that, and please help me for fighting with this. So they should have this much of what you called faith in teacher, that they should reach to the teacher and management that we have not finished that part and we have not understood that
Have you
part.
ever experienced like a student is coming straight away and telling
Yes,
that?
many a time students are coming and I am stopping my concept there only. I am stopping my concept, and I am very lucky that where I am working, my principal and my HM is very, very good, and they are cooperating. Sometimes what I am doing is, once I am finishing a chapter and I'm understanding that half of the concept is somewhere else, and I ask my principal that can I make some PDF and give. She is allowing me. She made a group where through through that WhatsApp group we can communicate with children anytime. And that time we are sending that PDF, and ma'am is just giving the PDF to the children, so that after the class, if they lacks in some concept, they can catch it up there. And after that, after learning that also, if they are having any doubt, they are straight away to come to us. So our principal is also telling to the children that you go and talk to the teacher directly. And we are also again and again telling to the children that you come to us rather than going somewhere else and asking this thing, that thing, telling. You come to us and one time say. In fact, this message is for all the children, that you never have fear of your teacher. You go and ask the doubt that, sir, madam, please don't rush. First, the child has to say, I'm standing here, you don't teach. Till now, I have not understood anything. Don't teach.
Don't teach.
Stop here. First, finish my doubt and then you start. And that's what I am telling. Many a times, if you will see my YouTube channel, you will see that till a child is not, one single child also, many are there in the group. If one is not also understanding, I am stick to that point that you should have to understand. And then I give many examples there. Because the only one thing is that I want that person to understand. And with that person, if others are there who is having doubt, they will also understand. Due to fear or some other parameters, they are unable to ask doubt. So with one person example, others can also learn. So first thing is that a child has to be rigid to in front of teacher. Like how a child is exactly saying, like if I was saying to my mother that I want this food. Then I want this food means I want this food. Then mother used to cook for me. In the same way, I am wanting the student that, ma'am, I have not understood this concept. And stand in front of ma'am. Don't move from there. And you see, watch the teacher, what the teacher is doing. Because until and unless the child is not understanding, we are there for children only, na. We took this responsibility for that child only, na.
Yeah.
A doctor, a patient will come to a doctor,
Yes.
and the doctor will exactly say that I'll not do operation. You do. You say. Then the patient will die, na. So like a teacher-student relation is same like doctor and patient. Till the patient will not get cured, the doctor is not leaving the patient, na. In the same way, teacher should not leave the children. In a group of 30 child, if 5 also is not learning, then our responsibility is to change the parameter of teaching and give them different examples and teach them, because we are for that only, na. Whatever our housework is, this work is there. But once we are inside the class, once a doctor will be inside the operation theatre, doctor cannot think about like, okay, in my home one celebration party is there. So I have to just finish it off everything in 5 minutes, and then it will go. The patient is dying or surviving, no problem. The same way, if a teacher is there and okay, full day thinking about today in my home one celebration party is there, and telling all the children, play today.
Ma'am, you said the parameter has to be changed.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you know any parameters to use?
Yes, 100%. I know many of the parameters I'm knowing, and I'm using it also. Like, understand, I have to finish a syllabus in 1 week. I'm knowing that 2 chapters are still lagging. Okay. And now examination is coming, and the child has to exactly learn that part. So how they will learn in playway mode so that their syllabus will also be completed and their concept also be there. Then I don't teach the entire page by page content. First though, I never teach page by page. This will exactly increase time. I pick the concept, I teach the concept, and then in class I give questions. I keep on giving questions, and I keep on playing with student. Hey, you solve this question. The child will definitely say, no, I don't solve. I'll say another child, you don't, that will say, I didn't understood. Oh, both of you not understood. Now this time the responsibility goes to me. I will solve. But you have to promise next time you will be solving. And then second time the child is mentally ready that ma'am will ask again same questions. So that time his brain will be working. And if his brain is working along with all his fellow friends are there, their brain will also be working now. That ma'am, if she asks a question from these 2 child, she can ask from us also. So they will hear the concept very nicely. And then you have to first to reduce the question content. Finishing syllabus does not mean that page by page, line by line finishing. You finish the top most important questions and conceptual questions, which will be used every time for the child. And syllabus content means like every exercise, 1 question, 2nd question, 3rd question, 4th question. We finish the work, but child understood or not, we don't know. So for that, what we are doing is mold the question in such a way, out of 4, give priority to best 2. Which is exactly going to be used in future concept also, and which will be known to the student also nicely. So that work has to be done. This is our work. We have to change it.
You mentioned the YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
Do you have any YouTube channel?
Yeah, I'm having a channel called Ameya. There I'm teaching 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th children. 9th, 10th maths and science, and 11th, 12th maths only. Basically, I opened that channel, I made that channel for one concept. When I made that channel, it was, Ameya means boundless. Boundless means there is no boundary. There is no boundary. And it is connected to mathematics also. Like when we study maths, we keep ourselves in a bound limit. That only these questions are there. We will finish this and over. But if you will go beyond that, then only you can explore mathematics. So that the time when I was making that channel, my health was not so good. So I was exactly in intention that whatever in my brain is there, I want to record it and send it to everyone, so that whenever they will be needing a concept which is beyond book and which is exactly can be used in day-to-day life in any competitions and all, then they will see my channel and then they will learn it.
Super. Ma'am, thank you so much for giving your time, ma'am. And thank you so much for your valuable tips for the students and parents. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. And please everyone, just viewers, whosoever is watching this channel, please kindly like, subscribe and share the channel, Irakuli channel. It's not for entertainment. You have to understand that it is for bringing something new. bringing something new. And Nelson's, in that interview, I came to know what questions he has asked. With that one thing, I came to know that his intention is not as a teacher, what teacher responsibility is. His intention is for the student and the parent. So definitely, I really like the interview, the way you have taken the interview. And please watch Irakuli channel.
Irakuli Entertainment.